This week's episode is brought to you by Tabletop Backer Party on Facebook, which is the largest board game crowdfunding group on this side of the internet. Hello everyone, welcome to I'd Back That Kickstarter with Gloryhound and
DrGloryhogg.
hello to everybody in the chat today. I already saw some people commenting. We have Robert White in the channel. Hello, and the Charity Board Gamer. How are you doing? We also have Fesmora. I don't think I've seen Fesmora before, have they? Oh no. I don't know.
I'm glad I didn't have to pronounce
But thank you for coming to the stream. So today we're going to be talking about 4 different Kickstarters. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, but once we got started, I was like, Kickstarters. Oh, okay. So later on today, we're going to be doing a Z-Shot playthrough as well. Me and the mom, the Glory Mom. So that'll be interesting as well. We have Charity Board Gamer that's curious about Jurassic Parts. And Robert White says, my pocketbook is hurting again after backing Return of Dark Tower. I still own and love the original. I totally agree. Last week was like so many big
everything
games.
was $100 except for like the Pacific Rails.
Everything this week is definitely under $60, and 3 of our games are in that $30 to $20 mark.
Yeah. So it's like the expensive week and then like the lighter week.
Your pocketbook is safe, guys. Okay.
Safer. You could still spend $90 if you get everything.
And we have Battle Cry. Hello, how you doing, Battle Cry?
And we have the cat.
And also the cat. She's just, she does her thing. She needs to be a star. She likes being on the internet. She heard that cats are amazing on the internet, and she wants a piece of that, guys. Okay. I think. I'm also really excited about Jurassic Parts, so that's going to be our first one that we get to talk about. I'm really excited about that one. Their B&M deal is great.
Can we do that, or are we going to get sued?
No, you got to stop. It's like 3 seconds. That's all you get. That's it.
I don't think Jurassic Park is going to sue us based off my singing.
No, you don't think so?
I don't know if they'll be able to recognize
really close to the original, so,
I mean, basically, me and John Williams are like composer. We both compose.
Hello, Michael. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, first up, we have Jurassic Parts. This is by 25th Century Games. This is going to be for 2 to 4 players. It's going to last 30 to 45 minutes. In this game, what players are going to be doing is placing down chisels. And essentially, the board is modular, and you're going to be placing your little chisels. And once all of the chisels between you and other people get placed and the board connects, that part of the board then breaks off in a chunk, and you divvy up those pieces to players per how many chisels they went ahead and placed down to take that chunk off of.
Right. So whoever put the most chisels gets straight up half of the pile, and they get to pick first. And then second place gets half of what's left, and then if there's a third place, they'd get the other half of what's left of that. So, I mean, if you're thinking about it, like I was watching Quackalope, they did one for like, I don't know, it was almost like 28 tiles. And so he got like 14. The next person got like 7. And the next person got like 4 or 3 or something. So
wow.
if you can actually arrange it to where you just break off a huge chunk like that, it can be pretty significant.
I think that's a game where the first time people play it, somebody might get a huge chunk of that, and then after, everybody's
never again.
Yeah, never again. It's never going to happen again. Everybody's going to be like, oh, heck no.
Yeah, you're going to.
Heck no.
If
We're
I see
stopping
you going for a big chunk, I'm at least going to toss a couple chisels in there so that I get like some of it. Or you can. I mean, with all tile placement games, you can basically use your chisels to kind of block somebody by like, oh, I'm going to take this little chunk out, which like ruins your the little chip you were breaking off.
So this game, I think, is deceptively strategic when you're placing your chisels, and you also have a bit of set collection in this because you're not just trying to get the most dinosaur bones. There's certain ones that you have to get to collect sets.
Right.
And
yeah, if you want like a Triceratops, you got to get like a couple different pieces to form that full fossil.
Right, you're going to get points based off of the sets completed in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got some special actions you can take with Amber that you get.
Right.
And it looks like, I mean, you don't always know 100% what's on there because the tiles are double-sided, right? So sometimes the stuff is underneath, which is kind of cool. So as you break it off, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a raptor head here. Like, that's pretty cool, where normally you wouldn't necessarily see that.
And 25th Century Games creates nice products. Like, we have a couple of their games, and everything looks fantastic in them. The art is great. They don't skimp on any cardboard or anything. Like, it's a solid game. You know, which one is Space Explorers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we have
that's the
Space
one that we
Explorers.
played
We
with
backed the
theirs.
last two,
Yeah,
I think, also.
yeah. So I'm excited to see this one. I was instantaneously, as soon as I saw the chisel breaking on this, I was like, ooh, this has strategic placement in it. This is like
You would love that.
100% my jam. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to mess up so many players playing this. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to get all my dinosaur bones.
That's her goals in life.
Now, the price of this game is $29. How do you feel about that price, Dr. Gloryhogg?
It seems like a good price for somebody like who's in Greg's situation.
Who's in Greg's situation?
I think so. I feel like, no, I mean, $29 is nice, right? Because you don't feel like you're really just like tossing a ton of money at something. So almost like no matter what you get, you're probably gonna enjoy it a few times. It's probably worth $30, right? Like, I mean, $30 is like going to the movies like once with like, you know, a kid or two.
That's going to the movies and like one burrito. So
Right,
people,
or just
like
like
two
one
people
meal,
going,
or getting like
or
a pizza and wings.
you
It's
could
very
go to the movies by yourself. You could get a soda, no popcorn at the movies, just a soda, and
probably $30.
then also a Chipotle burrito.
When I went out with Skybound at PAX West, we went out to movies, and it was in like Seattle, and it was pricey. I think I
Ooh,
spent
I
like
bet,
21 bucks, and I got
bet.
like a water, a small popcorn, and then like my ticket, and it was like 20 something bucks.
Guys, popcorn is like so much at the movies.
And
I
it's-
would rather buy this board game than popcorn. I mean, it's either this board game or the popcorn at the movies, basically, like at this point.
Well, it's like you can get a nice bag of popcorn for like $1 if you get like the store brand or something, right? So it does seem a little and if you pop your own, it's even cheaper. So it's yeah, popcorn's a little ridiculous. We could go into that for hours. I'm sure.
the whole popcorn shenanigans
Yeah.
thing.
But that's supposedly
Oh
where they
my
make their monies
God.
off of concessions. Oh my God, the cat's trying to jump.
Listen, you can go ahead and play this game at your house while watching Jurassic Park on your TV and then make yourself popcorn.
That's true. You
That's
could.
the trifecta right there. Like, that's how you do it.
And you could also play Jurassic World Evolution on your PlayStation.
Now, I do have one question. So, the paleontologist mats do they have separate, I didn't get a chance to look this up. Do they have separate abilities on those?
I don't, I don't know. I don't think so.
Dang it.
I don't remember them having like asymmetrical powers or anything. Or variable player powers or anything like that.
They're
on
just
them.
mats with the people on them and stuff.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
the
I
art
think it's
in
just
this,
aesthetics. I don't think it's actually there's a dynamic there. But I'm not 100% sure. I mean, you could definitely take a further look into that one. But I don't remember seeing anything about them having different starting powers.
I
or something.
also want to hear from you guys. How do you feel about the art in this? Because we've had a couple of dinosaur games come through lately that some of them have like what was called more childlike art or more like chibi style
Right,
art.
Tiny Epic Dinosaurs
Right.
had a kind of a Pokemon
God,
art
I
feel
didn't want
to
to
it.
call anybody out. I mean,
But then you have stuff like Dinosaur Island, which is like a crazy like 80s art
80s,
style,
and
right?
then-
For some of it, and then you've got Dinogenics, which is
Right.
like your hardcore like dark,
realistic
rain
looking.
on the T-Rex type
Right.
of stuff, which looks more like like the bad parts of the movie where people are running for their lives.
Well, this one almost feels like in the middle of like a chibi style art, but like not cute enough that it seems more of a board game. Yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems less of a child's board game, more of like a regular board game.
Well, I think
But it's still a little cartoony. Like,
well,
does that
25th
match with the theme?
century- Yes, I think so. 25th century typically aims for family.
Okay.
Right? So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a family, but it's supposed to be a midway game. They don't typically do like super heavy games where you're like, this is going to take 2 hours, but they also don't do games that are like 15-minute pressure luck. They always do like that kind of family weight game that comes in right at the middle,
Well, the
where
Space
it's strategic for everybody. Strategic would be like probably their heaviest game that I can think of off the top of my head.
the Space Explorers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also like the idea is that it's supposed to be easy to get into, right? It's a game that you should be able to play with pretty much anybody and enjoy it. That's I
So
think
you
the
think that's
idea.
where the art is being designed for? Is like anybody can play this, anybody's going to grab this off the shelf. It's family orientated
Yeah, I mean, and
without
like you said,
scaring
it's-
anybody away.
It's cartoonish without being like for like a small preschool child or something.
Right. We've seen a lot of dinosaur games. Dinosaurs are so hot this year.
You always say that. There's always going to be trends.
All right.
I'm waiting for the Gloryhogg trend where everything is based off of pigs.
all
the games.
Aw, little piggy
So
games. I'd be
waiting.
down
Zombie
with
pigs,
that. All right.
Jurassic pigs.
Overall, this I don't have anything bad to say about this game. I was super excited about this one.
You're
Again,
missing
like
the
I was saying,
awesome-
those chisels.
You're missing the awesome puns. I'm not digging it yet.
Oh,
I
oh, battle cry. I did miss that one. It totally went over my head. Oh man.
And I don't know
Jeez.
100% if all the Facebook comments are coming through, because I'm seeing some like from Alan
Are
where he's
you?
talking
Okay, what's
about.
Alan talking about?
Well, he's just saying that a lot of games lately have light art, but are more deeply strategic than you would think, right?
That's
Which I
true.
think that's not a bad trend to have. I
It's
mean,
not. I just know that some people last time were so upset about having a chibier style art with that game. They're like, bah, this looks too much like a kid's game. I don't want it. And I was like, oh, really? Like,
but we still backed
that
it.
didn't bother me.
Oh,
Well,
you're
it
about
didn't
other
bother
people.
me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, personally.
Yeah,
So,
it's weird. Like, I mean, I've played some of the Pokemon games and stuff, like the first one and some other various, but like Pokemon Go and stuff. But that's like, I don't know, that's not something I necessarily want to play like a board game around, I don't think. And I don't typically play the other games now, the newer ones that have come out on Switch and all that.
I'm always
But I'm
interested,
not upset
though.
about it usually.
I'm always interested, though, to hear what our audience thinks of everything because. Like, we're just two people with two opinions about things. We have an entire audience full of people that have opinions
I have at
on what
least
they think about the art. So let us know in the comments if you guys are going to be backing this game. I know Battle Cry said they're not digging it just yet. So, I mean, this is a back for me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like I said before, the whole breaking off something and having a big, huge chunk going to somebody, that's only going to happen that first time. And people are going to be like, oh man,
Yeah.
like, we're not going to let that happen again. And then it's going to get crazy, like, strategic and almost maybe where somebody's building something and you just try to cut it right in the middle
Oh,
and stuff.
definitely.
And, like, it's going to get ruthless, maybe. I don't know. Like, you just start taking off little chunks of their land
Well,
as they go
I
across,
think you
right?
have to. Like, I mean, even as I was just watching playthroughs, people were doing that where they were like watching somebody kind of go across and
And
they
then they're
drop
like,
a chisel in
nope,
the middle, and they're like, oh, I get this piece
not today.
because I'm first player, and then you get like nothing, and then you
Right.
lose these chisels here. So you can kind of like negate someone's turn.
Right.
It can be very competitive without seeming overly mean. Where there's some games where you just feel like you're getting picked on,
You're
right?
getting attacked.
Where this, I don't think you're gonna feel like that, and it's really gonna be just how aggressive everybody wants to be with it.
And Martin says, tiny epic pigs.
That's a
Let's
game.
do that.
needs
That
to
would
be a
be
game.
super cute. It'd be like, what would it be about? What would be the theme?
Well, pigs would be the theme.
Well, I mean,
What's the
like, what's the
mechanisms?
mechanisms? Yeah.
Oh, it'd be a drafting game
Drafting,
about
okay.
collecting the best pigs.
And we have a Kabuki Kid joining us. Hello, Kabuki Kid. And Jamie or Jaime? Jaime? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, but hello. Welcome to the stream. So, okay. Would you back that? I don't
Yes.
remember if you said yes
yeah,
or
no,
no.
I definitely would.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with this, guys. Like, it's going to be cute. It's going to be strategic. It's going to be something simple that you can kind of teach everybody, but it's going to have a lot of depth to it. Like, I'm excited about it. And
It's gonna be deceptive, right? Because you're gonna
It's-
teach it to somebody. They're like, "Oh, okay, this is so cute," and you'll be like, "Yoink! I get these 18 tiles." And they're gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
it's going to look amazing. They even built in, for the certain dinosaurs on the tiles, if you're not sure how the bones are supposed to be placed, they just have like a little number letter or something in the corner that shows.
What if you
yeah.
were just able to make your own dinosaurs by just sticking them together? That's what we
That's
used
a
to
whole
do.
nother game.
That's history. That's what we used to do. We're like, "Oh, this looks like a dinosaur. I'll just put this." Oh, that's the tail.
Hello, Robert. Thanks for joining us. I think that our Facebook comments are not working, so if you're on Facebook
Some are, some aren't.
watching us, hello. Okay, so let's move on to our next game. What do we have? We have Micro City.
A very small city.
Very small game. And this is by Thistroy Games. It's for 1 to 2 players, and it's going to last about 5 to 30 minutes. This can be played in cooperative mode. It can be played in solo mode, and it can be played in
Head-to-head.
versus. Yeah, head-to-head mode. This is a game about rolling dice, and then you get to use an action card from your hand. So it's a little bit of hand management as well. And you move your meeple, and then you carry out that action per the dice that you had rolled, okay? Because you have limited things that you can do. You can either pick that top easy action or that bottom action that's harder to pick, that's a little bit more powerful. And you're going to be going around the city trying to build buildings. Like, it's a very simple sounding game, and it's a little pocket game, but they have that modular board thing on there
Right,
where
yeah.
everything is always going to be different every single time you play it. And I think it's really interesting it going from a 1 solo, 2 player co-op, and then a head-to-head. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting how the different versions kind of play against each other, and it ends up being like which one you end up liking the most. If I remember correctly, this one was like a print and play for a really long
Yes.
time, and won awards on BGG for that.
Yes. Yeah, or as Tom Vassell says, verse.
Verse.
Yeah, it's always good to hear a print and play game that actually comes to its fruition of actually being produced, because
Right.
I don't play a whole lot of print and plays unless I'm printing it out because specifically I have to review it for something or learn ahead of time for
Yeah.
something. I don't go on BGG and search out these print and plays. So a lot of times
You'll miss
I
'em.
miss
Yeah.
really good games on there that people have been playing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we played that, a couple years ago." And I'm like, "Dang it. This is so good. I'm so glad that they brought it to print. Like, this is awesome. With Kickstarter now, you can do things like that." This is also a $20 game. Yeah, $19.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
The $19?
Yeah, I figured this would be one that you'd be really interested in because of all the different play options, right? So you can kind of figure out for your group, and when I say group, it's like 2 people, right? But you could play it solo. You could easily take it on the plane with you or something like that. You could play it at lunch, I'm sure, at work.
Oh,
And then
absolutely.
you could very easily, like, if you did have a friend that was interested, you'd be like, sure, I'll show you how to play co-op, and the next time you can play versus, and then just kind of figure out what works good for the group that you've got,
I
the people
was
that want to play it.
totally going to mention that. I really like the fact that you can play in both modes, because sometimes people get intimidated when you're playing games with them, and it's good to have a cooperative mode to teach them the game in, and then
Right.
that versus mode to go, okay, now that you know the game, now we can challenge each other in it, and you know what you're doing, and you won't feel like you're lost the entire time or anything like that. It's like a very non-confrontive way to get somebody into a game.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're right. And not everybody likes co-op, and not everybody likes versus, and I get that. There's some games that I don't like to play whenever you're playing it at its meanest level, if you will.
And Michael says this was our second game that was first print and play and then was released.
That makes sense.
Okay, that
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah.
Well, that's always a good sign, right? When you can put out something that people are willing to print out, play it, and then they enjoy it enough that you're like, okay, we need to get this thing printed off.
I'm so excited.
Because I definitely prefer the printed versions better, or the produced versions a little bit better.
The other thing, guys, if you are interested in this game and you're not sure if you're going to like it and you don't want to print anything out, I saw that this one's on Tabletopia. So if you're familiar with that program, you can download that and actually
Check it
play the game on there. And the game manufacturers have been really good about putting everything on there so you can just play with all the pieces and the bits and everything, and play in a digitalized version. Digitalized? I'm saying that wrong. Digitized. I don't know. But it makes it nice and easy to play on there.
A super computer magic
Ooh,
version.
I like that. Super computer magic version. If you want to get your magic on, your computer magic on, do it on Tabletopia. So, Dr. Gloryhogg, do you like this game? I wasn't for sure if you would like it or not. I know I like it a lot.
This is one I feel like I would have to play. Just because, like, it's not the style of game I typically really enjoy.
But it has dice
But-
rolling.
But
Don't
I
all
said the same thing. Hey, let me finish. I said the same thing about, like, Fantastic Factories at first. When I kind of first saw it, I was like, I don't know. This doesn't really seem like it's going to be for me. And then I really enjoyed Fantastic Factories. So this might actually be something I really enjoy. I think I don't necessarily... So I don't hate dice. You always say you hate dice, but you like dice selection. And that doesn't matter for me, right? Like, it's not a big...
It's
plus
different.
or minus. So you always think that, like, oh, it's got dice in it. Dr. Gloryhogg's going to love it. And I'm like, having dice does not mean I'm going to love the game. I'm just willing to give a game with dice a chance. There's a big difference.
Dice selection versus just rolling, and then whatever you get, whatever you get,
Well, it's always
is where
better to have
that's where I
choice.
draw the line. You know,
Yeah.
if I can affect my dice rolls, it makes it so much different for me than rolling the dice and being like, all right, that's what I'm stuck with. I think here it's the hand management or that card management part of this that's really interesting, because you have your cards in your hand, and like when you're playing with somebody else, you pass that.
Right.
You don't have like 2 separate hands or anything, so that's a really interesting thing that, like, whatever I'm choosing is also going to be affecting your gameplay as well.
That makes sense. And the nice thing about this is that you can see other people have played it already.
That's right.
So you can actually get
Hunt down
opinions from
people.
people.
Hunt down people on the
You just go
BGG
on, I was
forums.
gonna say, you can just go on BGG and look at ratings and everything and see people's comments, and that can help you kind of figure out if it's for you or not, which is really nice.
Kabuki Kid says, all we are saying is give dice a chance.
You need to be directing that to her.
Give
'cause
dice a chance, guys.
she's the one that is not down with dice or any
Well,
kind of randomness.
Have any of you guys in our comments right now played this game in the print and play version or played it somewhere? Let us know, and let us know what you guys thought about it.
I'm going to say Michael's probably played it. Just if I had to guess. I'm
You
gonna
think
say
so? Maybe?
Maybe they have played it.
This for me is a Instaback. A
Okay.
$20 price
I
point.
figured it would
I
be
love
for you.
micro games because it's the easiest thing for me to pick up and bring with me someplace and teach. It's easy enough that I feel like I can teach anybody how to play it.
That makes sense.
You know, and I just really like micro games because
You do really like micro games, but I feel like I'm actually kind of getting more away from micro games.
if I'm going to go eat someplace and we have a big enough table, like I want to play a game, you
Can't
know?
talk to me? This is, oh my gosh.
What?
You just can't talk to me now?
I just can't talk to you.
We did have a really good time playing like
Are you
Tussie Mussy when we were at the.
Are you not entertained at dinner? Are you not entertained?
Spring games. So we've had fun. Like we went out and we played like, you know, a couple different games at bars or various restaurants, and it is a lot of fun to kind of play while you're waiting for your food and everything.
All right, so
There's definitely nothing wrong with that, and you're always a huge fan of very small
games.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like the Polly Pocket size of. You probably don't remember that or know about that.
Polly Pocket's like the little tiny.
Yeah, it's a little tiny miniature town, and this is like the Polly Pocket version game, right? Because you have a little mini town, and you're running around, you're doing things in it.
They had a different version for boys. I think it was like Max Power or something,
Oh,
or Mighty
yeah,
Max or
well,
something, and it wasn't
the
same
as cool.
idea, but it was like
as cool.
It was just like a skull dungeon.
Listen,
and Mighty Max would be in there.
Polly Pocket is still around today. Where's this Max guy at?
He's probably still around. They probably just don't have two different names for it. I heard they're bringing back Micro Machines. That's what I'm excited about.
Ooh, Micro Machines.
I used to have
my
so
God.
many Micro Machines.
If you had Micro Machines, could you drive them on these cards? I need to know.
I don't know. The cards might
Didn't
be a
they
little
have
bit
like
small.
miniature Micro Machines too?
Yeah, they did have super micro
If
ones.
you had the super micro ones, I bet they'd fit.
They
and
would
then you could have a
definitely fit.
town with little cars on it. And then
You're getting out of control.
it would be amazing. All right, would you back this game, Dr. Gloryhogg?
I think you're backing it.
I'm backing it.
It's definitely one that I would think about. I would want to play this one first before backing it, just because. But I already know you're backing it, so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have to come up with a strong opinion because I already knew you were going for it.
Yes, I looked it up the other day, Kabuki Kid, because this game reminded me of that. And I looked it up, and they are around today. I was surprised. I was like, oh my gosh, like, that lasted. I don't know.
I'm still waiting for Roxy Games to come out with Not Pogs.
Not Pogs. That's right. They were going to do that. When's that coming?
Throne. They put it on hold for Season 2 because they ramped everything up because they ran out of their Season 1, which is a good problem to have.
Okay, that makes sense.
As a game company to run out of your first, run of Dice Throne and have to, like, reproduce it. So
right.
they bumped all that stuff up and pushed, Not Pogs to the
Okay.
side until that stuff's done.
Let's see here. What do we have next? We're going through these fast today. Like, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about a lot of these games. Probably this next one here, though. These next two are probably going to fill, like, the rest of our time here because
Think so?
they're interesting. Yeah, we got some interesting,
okay.
probably commentary on these next two, okay? So, next up, we have Tortuga. $21.99. This is by Gray Fox Games. It's going to be for 2 to 4 players. It's going to last about 60 to 90 minutes. Now, in Tortuga, this is all about space pirates. You're going to be running around the galaxy. You're going to be hunting down alien wildlife or just aliens in general and then turning them in for, it's not bounties. There's something else they call it, like the hunt. You turn them in for hunt.
Yeah.
Credits and stuff like that. But you're also going to be trying to maintain little districts and stuff like that. Like, you can fight over districts and
Yeah, there's area control. Where
Yeah,
you're trying to control you control a planet, I believe, or like a hub or a port or whatever you want
Right.
to call it. You're going to control a certain area, but somebody else can come along and take it if they've got more credits or whatever the currency is in order to have a higher number than you, and they can take it, and then they start getting the benefits from that
right.
area.
And this is a really interesting game in the fact that you are doing all these things that you think of when you're playing space games. All right, we're going to travel over here, we're going to do this, we're going to do that over there. But you're building your ship and your crew and stuff like that through
Right,
like a
that's
deck building.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's the main part of the game. Like, this is like almost side quest stuff to like collect things, on the whole board and like
Right.
where you're traveling to. That's a whole collection thing. But everything else is all about that deck building in the game, which I think is really interesting. And I was looking through the deck building. We'll have to scroll down. Are they going to have a Captain Jack Sparrow? That would be awesome, Robert. Right? I feel like they should name them after like grandchildren of famous pirates.
Well, like ever since I watched Planet Express, ever since I watched Futurama, I'm always looking for the Planet Express ship, right? Like, I'm always like,
You need that in your
is
life.
that going to be in here?
So good.
Is Firefly ship going to be in here?
The best thing about Planet Express was the fact they had that time, what was it, the time machine or something? Or like where they move through space really fast. And it wasn't them moving through space, it was space moving around them. I thought that was the most like interesting and genius way to describe something like that. They're like, no, our ship doesn't like travel through space. Space travels around us. I was like, that's so cool. What a
I always
cool
liked,
idea.
was it like the ridiculous drive or something that you kick in and then like ridiculous stuff would happen because you're going so fast? Was that on Spaceballs or was that from that book series?
The Douglas Adams
Yeah.
series. Yeah, it was that one. The
Yeah, like a
Douglas
ridiculous
Adams
drive or
series.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay.
Or anti-probable drive.
Let's
something.
get down to the deck. First off, okay, I like the art in this. They did a fantastic job with the art. It's so
yeah, it
colorful.
reminds me of like Treasure Planet from Disney.
So
you know
beautiful.
that movie, kind of like cool, like steampunk-ish space pirate art.
One day a Babylon 5 board game, The Dream. That's
haven't
awesome.
seen
That
one
would
of
be
those.
awesome.
Improbability drive. There it is. I knew it was something. It's been a while since I read that one.
Where's the deck building? It was down here because I
I
wanted
think
to kind
they
of go
both
through
kind of
it.
had it. I think Hitchhikers and Spaceballs both kind of had something along those lines.
Did they both?
Well, one of them being the book series was kind of almost a spoof, and then like to a certain degree, and then of course the movie was a spoof of other movies, so it doesn't surprise me.
So I liked that in this deck building they have the where you're getting rid of cards kind of built into that instead of like
Right.
searching down stuff and then your deck gets too big and then like you are culling as you're going and it's kind of an automatic thing. And I thought that was interesting because a lot of times with deck building you are limited because if you don't cull cards then like your deck just gets out of control and
It gets
it
too
could
bloated.
be it could be where you don't get the good cards that you need fast enough, you know? So you're going to be playing cards, then you buy your new card, and you're buying those with those space. I'm just going to call them space credits. I can't remember what they had called them.
I think they are called like Credititos or something.
They are called something like that. I have it written down somewhere. And those you get from like hunting things and stuff and gathering things. And then you move your spaceship.
Right.
And you collect your materials. Where is it? Okay. Reserve the card from your hand, and then you destroy the card. The card played. And that's why I thought it was interesting. So when
Because
you're
of that.
playing,
So it keeps it like
when you're playing your card, like you're also getting rid of those.
yeah, that would definitely add a little twist, wouldn't it? Because
Yeah.
you're almost like, oh, I don't want to
You're
play
like,
this one.
oh, do I need to save this until later? Like,
But you're destroying a played card, so you get to play all 5 of your cards, and then you destroy one.
but
of
you
them.
destroy one of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're gonna get rid of
So
your
that's not
beginning
too
cards
bad.
probably.
Kabuki Kid says ludicrous speed. Oh, that was the best in Spaceballs. There was a B5 game once upon, apparently not great. That's right.
Yeah,
Ludicrous
Babylon
Speed.
5.
So good. So good. What do you think about this one? I know that you really like deck building games, Dr.
I do.
Gloryhogg, and usually for me to like a deck building game, there has to be something else involved in the deck building, and this one actually is more involved. So this makes me like this game more, but
Okay.
I wanted to hear your opinion on it.
So I've backed like a ton of deck builders, and I really enjoy deck building as a mechanic in general, right? Or drafting, any of those types of ways to kind of build your own custom deck. I was really worried that this would not have enough for you. Like it wouldn't be
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because like the way you take the different areas and everything, I just wasn't sure if this would be enough. Because I know we've played a couple different ones. We've played like the Come On has one that kind of has like a little area control thing where you're working together to defeat monsters.
I liked that one.
Right. And then I know you like Tyrants of Underdark.
Right.
Like that was a good one. But those are the ones you've liked the most. And other than that, you've pretty much been Shards of Infinity and we played a couple different Ascensions, but you never really kind of got sold on those.
Well,
And so I was wondering if this is enough that you would actually play it, because I've had my heart broken before by getting deck
Ascension.
builders and then you don't want to play them.
this is true, guys. I pass on a lot of deck building games, and
really
poor
like 'em.
Dr. Gloryhogg. Somebody come over and play deck builders with him because he keeps getting them.
Well, like you like War of the Worlds, because that's a very
but
two-player.
it's strategic. It's you're
Right.
moving
Well, there's
your
area control in it again.
right,
Which is what Tyrants of the Underdark has too.
and that's why I like this
The only
because
straight deck building game that you've played, and Clank is deck building too, but you're moving around and doing something else, and you like Clank. The only straight, just 100% just deck building game that you like that you've played is Shards of Infinity.
yeah, but
That's
that's
the
just
only one.
because you have that diplomatic part in Shards of Infinity.
Well, you like it
so-
at more than 2 players.
So Luke says, "Oops, this looks like a good game, but the player interaction might be too high for my taste." That's interesting.
So you don't want to have it where people can mess up your plans, which I
I-
can get that.
But I kind of like the player interaction because that makes it really interesting, you know, per what you're going after and everything, and then the sections that you're controlling. Like, that would just make the game so much. I guess it makes it harder, but more interesting. Makes everybody involved in the game, you know?
Yeah, I don't mind it I don't mind player interaction in a deck building game. I do agree though that deck building game has to have a little bit something more. Otherwise, I just end up putting it up against other deck builders I have and go, Is this one
Then
going to
it's like, is
replace
this deck
anything
builder
else?
better than this deck builder? Does this deck
Right.
builder? And then you just have a line of like,
And then what typically happens, I just say,
games.
right, I just say like, okay, well, if I was going to play one in this style, which one would I play? And if it's not the one that I just mentioned, then I'm like, okay, well, I guess that one's time to move that one along.
So this one here is the highest price game that we have today. This one starts at $59, which I think is a good price. Gray Fox Games, their boxes, content, everything is always nice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the last one that we did get from them was, what was it? I can't remember. Was it
War of the Worlds?
I think it might have been War
of
of the Worlds.
was really nice looking.
And all the minis and everything, and that was great.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have a bad taste in their mouth, though, about Gray Fox Games, because there's a lot of really angry people about Reavers of Midgard. So I don't know the whole story about Reavers of Midgard, because that was something I was interested in backing, because I like Champions of Midgard. I'm actually going to play that tomorrow. But we didn't back it because it just didn't work financially at that exact moment, right? But it was definitely on my radar of ones to get. But I guess from what I understand, like they didn't produce some of the stretch goals like they said they were going to. Like they forgot them or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I guess there's a whole Reddit thread about it. So, I'm not going to get super in-depth into it because I don't know. I didn't super follow that campaign after we had talked about it on our show. Because we didn't end up backing it, so I didn't get all the updates and everything. But there's a lot of people that are like really, really upset about Gray Fox about that.
So when they were putting their games out, it was Reavers of Midgard before or after War of the Worlds?
Before.
It was before.
Because it was like Champions, Reavers, then it was War of the Worlds.
They
this
completely delivered on War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah, definitely. War of the Worlds was like really good. I don't regret that purchase at all. That purchase was so good. Greg played his normal copy and then immediately went
and got the
bought
Kickstarter copy
version because he got to see all the cool spaceships and stuff, and the walkers and everything running around. That he was just like, oh man, I got to get the real version of it, like the nicer version.
Well, let's take a look too at the stretch goals for this because, like, what else? What extra Kickstarter stuff am I going to be getting?
Well, it already comes with stuff like the dual layered boards and everything, which is nice, right? So if you put a cube on there, it actually gets kind of like seated in. It's not going to just get knocked off as easily,
right?
Which is really, really nice.
And then the difference between the packages, you're getting like that big neoprene mat and everything. With this other one, you're getting, let's see here, everybody gets the exclusive Phantom ships. Everybody gets the turrets and everything. Those turrets are awesome looking. Like, I'm digging all the colors in this game. So excited.
Well, Kabuki Kid is talking about Legendary Encounters Alien. You know what? We have played that
that's
one.
right.
And we did enjoy it. Our really good friends have it. And so we have never bought it because they have it. And we always figure, well, if we're going to play it, we can just play it with them. But yeah, that was really good. We really enjoyed that one too. That was some intensity.
Legendary Encounters Aliens doesn't have spaceships traveling through space.
Oh, these spaceships look really cool.
With area control.
That's true. It just has like xenomorphs and aliens and trying to survive, fighting for your life.
All right, DrGloryhogg. Do you want to back this game? I feel like you're not like 100% on this game.
I'm just worried that it's not going to have enough for you that you're going to want to play it a bunch. And
really?
Right, because a game with just deck building is enough for me, and I'm like, oh, cool, I just enjoy deck building. But if it doesn't have that extra little something, it just won't get to the table a lot, and I don't want that.
You go back and forth, though, on the sector influence and stuff. So, like, if somebody is going over there and trying to reduce that, like, you can go back through and reinforce things and stuff.
Right, you can go back and, like, take it back and everything else.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if it's enough for you, though. I'm just
How dare you?
I'm a little lukewarm on this one. I'm not like I thought I would be more excited about it than I was.
Really?
Because I've been really excited about a lot of their other projects. Like War of the Worlds I was super excited about. So I think I'm just kind of in the middle on this one, where I feel like I want to play it before I actually buy this one.
It is a space game for you, and to be fair, you're not a huge fan of space games.
But Space Pirates is okay. And
Space
I'm all right
Pirates
with that.
is okay.
That's fine. I mean, I like the idea because it's kind of like steampunkish and then running around.
If there's a scoundrel involved, if there's like a...
Scoundrels are your thing. You're the one who's always trying to play the mischievous side.
There's a loudmouth scoundrel. He wants to play it. If it's in space. Okay, so Kabuki Kid says Aeon's End is good too. Different take on it.
I've heard good things about that. Our buddy got a copy of that, and he traded it for another game, and I kind of want to throat punch him.
Oh.
Like a tiny bit. By buddy, I mean Greg. Greg C. Dixon.
Dude.
Feel free to message. No, him and his wife were looking at this other game, and he had got it at kind of like a buy swap thing, and so they traded it for something else before he even got to play it, which was disappointing because I was super excited to play it.
Why do we even invite Greg over to things?
I don't even know.
You know? Like if he's not going to get the games that we want to play.
Yeah, he does not. He does not very often get. I mean, he gets games that we like also,
you know
but
he
doesn't
even
back
been
the
here.
games that we're not backing.
He hasn't even been here. Where's Greg right now?
He's actually at his daughter's school function.
How dare he?
It's like send pictures
How
for proof.
dare he? Like, doesn't he know what's important, guys, in life?
Kickstarters. Well, here's the thing, too. Based off what we've been talking about, you could probably get all 3 of the other Kickstarters for about the price of this one.
That's true. Okay.
And it sounds like you're, I mean, I know we're going to do Jurassic Park. Sounds like you're interested in the Micro City, so.
I'm interested in a lot of games this week, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
so Robert says it's play before buy for me. I want to know in the comments, guys, what do you guys think about this? Are you backing this game or not?
It's got your mom's vote. She says
Has my mom's vote?
+1, Pirates. She's in.
Chad is in chat. Hey, Chad, how's it going? Looks like I missed the Jurassic Park.
You did, Chad.
You did. It was in the beginning.
We said horrible, horrible things about it.
It was the most terrible game of the year. No, we love it. We love it.
You know we're going to back
it.
it.
It's going to be backed. We're super excited about it. I cannot wait for all those chisels and stuff. Like, you'll have to go back and watch it, Chad. I'm super excited about
I
it.
can't wait for her to dominate me by taking 18 tiles in one turn, and then I get like 9.
That's going to feel so good, too. Once you take them, you're like, I have the world.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun.
You could get all of the other. You could get all the Kickstarters this week for the price of just one of the Kickstarters last week.
That's true. That is 100% true. And I thought of that whenever I was putting this list together. I was like, wow, like, at least we're saving money in people's pockets this week or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we went from like a week of everything being 100 to a week of everything
ah.
being like 30. So that's, it's kind of an interesting twist.
That's right. We really dig it, okay? Next up, and I'm really excited to talk about the interesting parts of this game because just first up, guys, like I did not back Unstable Unicorns or the TeeTurtle products because they are set for a certain type of gamer and that gamer is not me. So I'm really interested in what everybody's going to think about this particular game. Here to Slay. Now, Here to Slay is for 2 to 6 players. This is going to last about 30 to 60 minutes. In the past, the TeeTurtle products have been very mainstream. They're mainstream board games, and they have adorable, adorable art in them.
Easy entry games.
Yes, and with this one here, they are saying, all right, this is going to be an RPG style game, so they've added a little bit more board game-esque stuff to it, along with, their art is adorable.
Yeah. I'm actually wearing a TeeTurtle shirt right now.
Right. And we love TeeTurtle.
Not on purpose. I happen to have a lot.
Yeah, there's other things that we support TeeTurtle with. Jimmy says, yeah, Exploding Kittens, different company, and Unstable Unicorns have not been up my alley. Yeah, I think we did and those are 2 like hugely, hugely backed games.
Right,
and
that's the Oatmeal and TeeTurtle.
Yeah, this is a hugely backed game. But my question to you guys is this gamer enough? Because this is something you could buy and you could play with anybody that is not a gamer probably, and they're probably going to like it because it's cute and it's not super hard, I think. I don't know. It's kind of on the border, guys. What do you guys think about this?
Do you want to know what I think about this?
I guess we can hear from you.
You want to hear my most controversial gamer opinion ever? Because everyone's always talking about these controversial, opinions that they have about gaming.
Okay,
I feel like any game that gets more people playing games is an amazing game.
Is a good game. Okay.
Because I'm just going to sit down right here and tell you guys, we became gamers probably because of Munchkin.
Oh, absolutely.
That was one of the first games we got into.
That was my gateway game.
We were buying it back in the day. Mine was probably King of Tokyo. Now, we played Munchkin together, but King of Tokyo really sold it for me, and I'd already gotten back into Magic at that point. But I needed something that was exciting enough to pull me away from the Magic table, right? And that's hard to do. Because I'm a big fan.
Are you saying this is going to be thousands of gamers' Munchkin, like, intro into board games?
Oh, this will be a lot of people's intro into board games, definitely. Here's the thing about this game. I feel like it's going to be kind of at the Munchkin level, right? Because you're trying to build a perfect party. You're getting modifiers. You're picking up items. You're trying to defeat 3 monsters first to win. So it'll have like that Munchkin-esque feel.
Or build the perfect party.
Well, right. That's one of the options. So there's 2 different ways to win, which is going to be better than just the race to the top. Looks like there's definitely some interaction, but it doesn't seem overly harsh interaction. And I think it's going to be just really easy to dive into. And then with the art and everything, I just think it's going to get a lot of people playing. And for me, this seems like a game I might be able to take over to like a Christmas party, like, with my parents, or something that we could just have in our bag to play with people that are a little bit more shy, something that you could just kind of play at a convention for fun. if you're in the right mindset, Munchkin is still one of my favorite games if you're in the right mindset.
Right.
Right? If you're playing with people that want to be super hardcore and play a tournament style, yeah, it can be kind of a drag. But if you're playing with people that are just trying to enjoy the game,
have fun.
they've never played it before,
Yeah.
they're excited about it, it can be amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
And I know there's always, with any game, there's always going to be a lot of people that love it, a lot of people that hate it. I was most surprised by this game just because usually these types of games are auto pass for me.
Me too.
Where I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to play that. Like, we bought Exploding Kittens. That was still fairly on. You know, it was early. It had a lot of hype around it. We bought it. We really enjoyed it for like a couple weeks, but then it quickly faded, right?
Well, Exploding Kittens was purchased for party game night, which was playing with non-gamers and gamers and having that introduction sort of game that everybody was going to enjoy. And then it kind of just ended up becoming where like our kid just really liked playing it.
Right. And it
had like the meowing box.
Yeah. And we got to mess around with the not safe for work deck. And people were like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is crazy. But it was something that we'd play and then we'd kind of move on to something else. We would never just sit down and play it multiple times, right? And there's still things that I reference from Exploding Kittens like nope, 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 nope. Right? The nope cards, that's like almost the best part about that whole game is the nope cards.
Yeah, being like, nope.
But it wasn't something that stayed on our shelves for very long. Like, I think we still have it, but it's not something that we bring out, right? We've moved on to other fillers like point salad, hats, things that have a little bit more depth in them because we play with people that game a little bit more now than we did back then.
Right.
I really just think this is going to be a really good way to bridge the gap between different groups.
Okay.
And it's going to get people interested and excited to play. And that, if I can get someone to play this, then I can very easily move them on to something else too. And as long as this is enjoyable enough for me, then it can be a lot of fun. So it's not going to be my favorite game. I'm not going to play it with just you and me constantly. But I could see this being something that we could really get to the table every once in a while and really kind of get people excited about the hobby.
We have a bunch of really interesting comments in here. First off, Robert White says, I'd love to see a movie or TV show made from these characters. And I completely agree because they did the intro to this like so adorably with them fighting back and forth. Yeah. That would be amazing. And we have, let's see here, yeah, I'd watch, Jimmy's commenting, yes, I'd watch the show, absolutely. Now, Chad says, I completely agree, Derek. Anything that brings more people into the hobby is always a good thing. Everyone's hook is going to be different, and we as people in the hobby need to respect that. As the popular meme says, let folks enjoy things.
Yeah, this game is super funded because it does appeal to people that are not going to jump into something like, what was the game you played last night? Marley Carbo, what was it? What did you play? The big game? Oh, no, you played Calloused, right?
Yeah, Calloused.
Yeah, Calloused. So, like, not everyone's going to jump into that. Like, for me, I wouldn't have jumped into something like Feudum or these big, huge games like Barrage. Like, Barrage kind of scared me off, and I am a gamer. I ended up really enjoying it, but initial glance, it looked like a lot. Brass looked like a lot when I first saw it, although I ended up enjoying it. So, even as somebody who games a lot, those types of games can really throw you off if they're not the style of game you normally go for. This one, just on looks alone and the gameplay of it's just going to really attract a lot of people, and I think that's a great thing for the hobby.
So, I am also the reason why I brought this one to our show is because I feel like it is very in the middle. I feel like there's enough substance here that gamers are going to be interested in playing it, but it's still going to be very, very light, and it's going to be cute, but it may be that thing you spend $20 on to bridge that gap between them playing this and then maybe their next step is Munchkin if they like this game, and then their next step you could go further and just start going down that rabbit hole of games from there and just bridging people along.
So if you're trying to get somebody interested in RPGs, I could see starting off with something like this and then moving into like one of the RPG kind of focused board games, like maybe like a Castle Ravenloft or something, and then you can move straight into an RPG campaign, right? Or into something more in-depth like a Seventh Continent or something like that. But I think it's going to be a really good way to kind of just get people excited about it. And then you can be like, oh, so you like this? You like these style of games? What about something like Tainted Grail, where it's a dark fantasy world? And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you've got these people that have only played this game and Tainted Grail. And that seems amazing to me, right? Because there's going to be people out there that are going to do this. Their friends are going to be like, oh, yeah, you like these style types of games? Cool. Come play another card game with me. Why don't you try Seventh Continent? Why don't you try Gloomhaven?
Right.
You get a little mini. You play cards. You get to do the same type of thing, but it's got a map, and everyone will be like, oh, that's cool. So it's going to be like this game, but it's got a map, and I could see that really bridging a lot of different communities together. I could very much see this leading into something else, and it looks fun enough that I won't be like just bored, right? It doesn't seem like it's completely push your luck. It doesn't seem like it's like there's no ways to get around things, like because you can like redraw your cards for your turn. You can do different things where you don't feel like you're just going to get stuck, because that's the worst thing about some of the lighter games is you just get stuck and you're like, I need to roll a 6 in order to keep moving, or I need to none of the cards in my hand work. This gives you options out of that. Like, this is a newer entry-level board game.
That's one of the parts I really liked about this game, because they do have that condition with, okay, you have to defeat 3 monsters or build the perfect party, which means you need to collect all your different characters, if it's your bard or your wizard and warrior. I don't know which ones that they have in there, but having those
conditions is really important.
Yes.
For me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could see somebody kind of getting ahead and you're just like, all right, I'm out.
What if somebody, it's like, it's one of those things where you can be as mean as you want in the game and start throwing stuff on people and affecting their game, or you can just go for this other win condition. So people can kind of play it whichever way they want.
Right.
They're not stuck with that one condition and, all right, now I need to wreck
and
somebody
there's not going to be
this.
somebody who's ahead that you're just like, oh, they're ahead. They're just going to win. Eric was saying earlier, everybody should play Barrage. I agree. I really enjoyed Barrage. I know it's not going to work for everybody.
So good.
Initially, the idea of water, damming it up, and then like making points off of that, and then like the style of the art and everything just didn't really appeal to me in my Ameritrash style gaming, right? But like Blood Rage and Waste and Express, like those were 2-hour games, and I looked at those and I was like, well, not Blood Rage, but Waste and Express, and I was like, I'm excited about learning this one, right? Because it looks so interesting.
Well,
Barrage didn't, but Barrage ended up being a lot of fun.
So Kabuki Kid says, don't yuck other people's yum, and I totally agree with that. I mean, there's different games for different people. Not everybody's going to like the same stuff, and that's just kind of how it is, Overall, Dr. Gloryhogg doesn't like everything I like, and I definitely don't like everything Dr. Gloryhogg likes, because I will not play King of Tokyo again. I will not do it.
You will.
Unless it's his birthday.
Yeah, I think, and it's just really, everyone is going to have different styles, right? And for me, like King of Tokyo, I get what it is. I know exactly what the game is, right? It's a dice rolling game. It's kind of push your luck-ish. But the thought of being a giant monster in Tokyo and just knocking out other monsters from the middle of the city is just amazing to me. It's kind of like where I wish I was as a human. Like just kind of owning a small metropolitan city of a couple 100 million and just punching my way
like
to the top of the throne, right? And then just owning the city because I can punch harder than everybody else.
I see.
That's amazing. That's like a good concept for the next for the next
I see where you're coming with this.
I feel like whoever punches the hardest should be in charge of. No, that's probably not good.
And I love these comments. Did we get Eric's where the new person joined his local group, and then now they've only played Gloomhaven and Nemesis, which is awesome.
Awesome. I want to play Nemesis. I still haven't gotten to play it.
So Jimmy says, my deal breaker is when there's really not any meaningful decisions to be made. If I'm stuck until I roll a 6 or just hoping not to draw the bad card, and there's nothing that he can do to make that effect, to change that effect, then the game just falls flat. And I agree that. But, there's some people out there that play games like Bunko and get together and just roll dice and that's it. Like, I don't even...
Right, like left, center, right. Like, that's the kind of stuff that gets busted out at my work for, like, team builder stuff. And it's fine. I mean, I know what it is. Everybody knows what it is. The idea is that they're not trying to learn and sit down and learn a rule book. They're just trying to like, oh, I do what? Oh, I roll these dice, and then this means I do this. Okay, that's fine. Those games are what we would consider super, super light filler games, right? Without a lot of player agency. But I feel like this one at least has player agency, and with multiple ways to win and ways to get new cards into your hand and the art. And oh crap, that cat's got knives. I mean, all of that is, I think, just the right amount of stuff. Where I think for $25, come on.
Now, I don't know if anybody has gotten any of the items from TeeTurtle, like unstable unicorns and stuff. Let me know in the comments how the quality of materials is, because I did not purchase that game.
I think it's pretty good.
I want to know, like, are they manufacturing really fantastic games on that part? Because I haven't actually got to feel any of those games in person.
I think that one is mostly just cards. But the good thing about it is they didn't just pump it and then dump it. They didn't just go, oh my gosh, here's unstable unicorns, and then they moved on to something else. They've consistently put out expansions for that, because I see them at almost every, like they were at PAX last time I was at PAX, and they have a big booth and they're selling t-shirts and stuff, but they have unstable unicorns and then multiple packs to go with it, right? And it kind of reminds me of where Skybound started with, they had Super Fight, right? And they put out multiple packs that you could buy and everything. And if this game convinces somebody else to play other games that I enjoy, I'm all for it.
And Petter says, all cats have knives.
That's true.
That's right.
It's like as they are being created, you're like, I'm going to make the softest thing on the planet. Yeah, okay, that's
cool.
And then give it razor blades for fingers.
And then murderous.
Yeah.
So I was just commenting, as far as production value goes, I mean, their art is fantastic. It's going to look amazing being on the table. So I was wondering if like the box quality and cards and everything was also on par with that, because not only are they creating a box this time, they're also creating like neoprene mats and stuff like that for all the different players,
And I don't
which
think
is
they've
like
done that before.
right, which is like a whole different level, which I mean, they go to enough conventions where those people are at that I'm assuming that they will have like a really great knowledge of all that sort of stuff, you know? That they would be able to produce something
Well, I don't think
quality.
it's going to be like deluxe style, but it'll probably be along the same lines as some of the stuff like that they put out for like Pathfinder, right? They're going to be like probably somewhat thin mats, but they're going to be stylistic and look cool.
You think so? Okay. All right. I'm just curious because they have a lot of Kickstarter cool stuff on here that's like, if you're going to go and you're going to spend $20, like, do you want these super awesome looking mats here? Like, I'm digging these mats here.
No, I'm good.
If we're going to get a game I don't want, we're going to get mats with it, which makes no sense at all.
I want that $25 Kickstarter exclusive one because I want some of the extra like heroes and everything else, but I don't feel like I need to have the mats. I don't think that's going to make it exceptionally better. I only want mats for games that I feel like I'm going to play all the time.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where I'm at with mats now, right? Like, I'm not going to get a mat for a game unless I feel like I'm going to play it a lot.
And as for the gameplay on this, guys, it seems like it plays quite a bit like Munchkin. Not exactly where you're kicking down doors and fighting monsters like that or anything, but you do have a splay of monsters out to choose from, and you are kind of like giving yourself some items and stuff that you're collecting from the deck, and you have your one little hero that is like your hero leader in your band, and then you can kind of get other heroes to help out and everything. And then there are some cards that you can use to affect other players' games, whether they're potions or something like that, but they are modifying cards on those when you're playing. And yeah, I think this is gamery enough that you could pick this game and sneak it into your game night with regular people who don't game and then get them hooked. That's how you hook them. That's how you do it, guys.
Oh my gosh, that's how she hooks them.
That's all I got. That's all I got. I only want the mat small enough to fit in the box. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. And then
Kabuki
Jimmy's
Kid.
kind of saying the same thing. You know, storage, right? Because we're at a point where we have a closet almost dedicated, which we do not have a big house. So to have one closet just having a whole bunch of mats hanging in it is a little intense.
Honestly,
and I can honestly say that we don't use most of those mats.
I just want prints. If I could have prints of the characters like this here, except like without the text, so just the cards, and then make them into a frame, and then that would be like my RPG like art that I hang on the wall.
You could use like a pointer and be like, so do you see yourself more as a thief or do you see yourself more as a barbarian over here?
Do you feel like you have this inner bunny, but also this intense wizard inside of you? Then this is the character you're going to want to play.
Are you like this fox ranger or more like this purple death bunny that likes spells? Yeah, I could see that. Are you a majestic unicorn that
wants
needs to save
do
everybody?
Good, but also
or are
wants,
you the silly little bard that wants to get into everyone's pants? What?
What?
That's all bards.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Is that
you
all bards,
knew that.
guys?
That's exactly why you started dating me.
You are kind of bard-like.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to say you are kind of bard-like, okay? So, Dr. Gloryhogg, are you going to back that game?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I am. Surprisingly. I've stayed away from unstable unicorns because I was just like, but this one is enough that I think it's going to be worth backing for $25. That's exactly the pledge I want. No more, no less. I want some Kickstarter stuff. I don't want the retail version, but I don't want the mats.
This was lowest on my list, guys, because it's going to be too light for me. I just know it's probably going to be too light for me.
Okay.
But it's not something that I wouldn't try playing, you know, as far as that. And if I was introducing a bunch of games to a bunch of new gamers, this would probably be at the top of my list for trying to get those players into games, or even getting RPG players into board games, which can also be sometimes hard because not all people who play RPGs play board games and vice versa.
There's a very big divide there sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they're both lifestyle choices, right? Like, I mean, board games in a
all
lot
of
of ways
them are.
can
So
be
miniatures, RPGs, board games.
They're all lifestyle choices. You kind of play those things. War games, definitely. And then another one is like, your tactical card-playing games like Magic or Pokemon.
Oh, that's right.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
And then your TCGs.
Yeah, those are all kind of different groups. But I think this will be this is like a nice little break to kind of merge some people in. It's like playing a 5-minute dungeon, right? It's not a game I'm going to play consistently all the time, but it's always fun when I play it. I don't think of it always, but it's always kind of nice to have around. It's really great. The kid loves it. Play it with just random people. It gets people excited and kind of into stuff. These are the types of games that actually be really good for, like, those kind of like icebreakery work type of things where, you want to get people excited about playing games before you bust out like the big heavy games.
Right. And Kabuki said Kabuki Kid says bards are all horn dogs. I just thought that the
You
bard
didn't
wanted
know
to
that?
try my pants on. They wanted to get into my
Oh.
pants.
Most
Maybe
bards
they
are
thought I
horn
was
dogs.
stylish. Like,
I mean,
I
if
don't
you
know.
think about it, I mean, the modern rock star is like a bard. And just kind of think about some of those people and the relationships they have.
Let's see here. So, and Jimmy's saying that if they'd fit in the box, I think I'd fit about, or I think I'd think about it as far as getting the game. So we have 4 pretty inexpensive games this week, except for Tortuga, which is still in that $60 range. We're not talking about $120 like last week.
It's nice.
What games are you guys going to be backing? Make sure to put those in the comments so we can go ahead and see what everybody is backing. I want to know.
Here to slay.
Especially, I was going to say, especially
Jurassic
about
Parks and Here to Slay.
because
Yep. Jurassic Parts and Here to Slay are the 2 that I would back.
here's the thing, guys.
Hands down.
If
the
you
ones I'd back.
guys are not backing Here to Slay a bunch, that's not a game style that I'm probably going to talk about in the future, you know, because although it's interesting to cover something like that, if you guys aren't interested in hearing anything about it, then you guys need to let me know, and then I
Yeah.
will change
We
that
don't
a little
cover.
bit.
We don't cover every like lighter kind of party-ish style.
No, we
game
don't.
like
There's
this.
a lot of them that come out, and I
A lot.
try whenever I see a really good one or I think one that's going to be really interesting, I try to put it on here, but it's not something we usually cover. And this one I probably would have passed by.
If I wouldn't put it on the
Normally,
list.
yeah, normally I probably would have just went nope and went through. Yeah.
But I could literally see you wearing a shirt that just says "Here to Slay" on it. So like you would wear the shirt, but not play the game. I see where your kind of the line is, and
I want a Here to Slay shirt now.
and I do agree with you, Jimmy. I usually play, if I'm playing a bard style character, I usually play it more as like a storyteller, right? Almost like your historian that would go around telling the great epic stories and inspiring people. But that's the general consensus, is that the bards are the horn dogs.
So if you
in
have
the
to,
D&D group.
if you have to pick one, what would you pick? One game this week. One game this week.
Okay, if I was only picking one, it'd be Jurassic Parts. Because I think
Jurassic
that
Parts,
one's
okay.
the one that would get played the most. And it's exciting, you know, like I still think that one would get played the most.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, this week it is going to be Micro City because my pocketbook hurts from last week, first off, because last week was such a big week that
Foundations of Rome, I'm so excited for.
I'm going to have to wait until next week to see if I'm going to try to back like Tortuga and stuff like that, because it's a game that I like and I'm interested in, but you're not as interested in.
Mhm.
So it makes it kind of risky. And like if nothing super great comes out next week that I want, then I'm coming back and backing some other ones because these are great.
I'm going to try to convince you on Here to Slay.
Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll have to see about it.
Or
All right,
Mercy.
guys. So I just want to let you know that we're going to be playing a Z-Shot
As in the royal we. 'Cause
on
it's going to be you and
the
your mom.
Steve Jackson Games channel. So if you want to come over and hang out with us and watch us play Z-Shot and how this thing operates, make sure to come on over and hang out with us.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know that I will be at work for the next 5
High
hours
fives,
or
high
so.
fives.
So,
Boom. Make that
Booyah.
money. Make that money.
corporate world, baby. Yeah.
And everybody, make sure to have a safe and wonderful weekend. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us and all of your comments and everything. We love chatting with you guys. And thank you for everybody that has supported us on Ko-Fi. You guys, I noticed like an uptick in that, and I really, really
Oh, that's
appreciate it.
awesome.
I don't always get to personally go in and say thank you to everybody all the time,
I'll do
but
it.
yeah, no, I really appreciate
Send me
that.
the info.
Okay, I'll send you the info
She
so you
doesn't
can go
want to know me
back
how
through.
much coffee she gets. I'll say thank you because it's big. You know,
It is. It's huge.
I've been supporting people on Patreon for years, and you know, like, oh, here's an artist I really like and everything, and they're just not huge, so you kind of want to help them out, and it really does help. I mean, that's how we upgraded some of this equipment last year.
Oh,
was with-
absolutely. We made
with that
leaps
type of
and
stuff.
bounds with equipment this last year because of contributions from you guys that
definitely.
you've made, that we've been able to, you know, get a camera and wireless mics and stuff like that to use on the road, and just making things easier for us to get things for you guys so you guys can see the games better and everything. So
Yeah. Because we don't want to, you know, have crap.
yeah, no, we want
We
to
don't
bring
want to
you
look like crap.
awesome
I mean,
content.
I'm really good looking, so I've got to have a camera that matches my face.
All right, guys, we will see you later, and I will make sure to go ahead and throw up the link for the Steve Jackson Games Z-Shot
Oh.
on our channel, or on our Facebook channel, probably, okay? So we will see you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.